que pasa un torrente como vuelo tocororo para todos, manantial de esperanzas, va provocando sonrisas, se hace presente en la casa, bendición de Dios, agua de vida. Un tesoro en la cocina, un tesoro que cuidar, surtidor y manantial refresca y sacia la sed. Para la familia es rostro de amor y sanidad, va regalando alegrías como expresión de unidad, bendición de Dios, agua de vida, gota a gota nace el riachuelo, a vivir juntos debemos aprender y que no sea de unos pocos privilegio lo que en comunidad hay que tener para toda Cuba.
Agua de vida que sacia la sed.
Un tesoro en la cocina por la gracia de Dios tú eres,
Agua de vida que sacia la sed.
que la quiere María, también José.
Agua de vida que sacia la sed.
Para todos los cubanos, qué bueno es.
Agua de vida que sacia la sed.
Para toda Cuba.
Agua,
Rostro de amor y sanidad,
agua,
expresión de unidad,
agua,
refresca el agua de vida
agua.
para mi Cuba.
¿A ti te gusta el agua? A mí me gusta, a mí me encanta. Gracias al proyecto Living Wash podemos compartir el agua limpia a todas las personas. 22 de marzo, Día Mundial del Agua. ¡Aprovechalo!
Oh, I love seeing that video of Sashi. Sashi is from Cuba. We met her back in February of 2020, and she sent us that video for World Water Day. So greetings to her and her church there in Placetas. What a gift it is to gather together to celebrate as the Living Waters for the World community. And you all have been answering the call all day long. So we want to thank you for sharing the blessing. Good afternoon to you, Doug, where you are.
Hey, Kendall, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You know, we've had some great visitors with us here today, people sharing stories about the positive ripple effect that goes all over the world when you're talking about sustainable, clean water and the good news that God loves us all. So today for World Water Day, it's an extra special day that we mark. And something else that makes it special today is that we're together and we have a donor who's given Living Waters for the World a very generous donation with the challenge for all of us to come together to raise $25,000, and then they will match that every single dollar given today. So you give $25, it becomes $50, and so on and so on. So it's always a great day, we say, to give to Living Waters for the World and to share. Today's an extra special day for that.
It definitely is. Definitely is. Why don't we, can you give us some names I'm assuming we got some donations
I
between
would
our
love
last
to.
time we were live. Who we
Yes,
got?
I would love to do that. So when we ended our session this morning at 11 a.m. Central, we had $10,115. And now, as of this moment, the beginning of this segment, we have 13,190. So you all are really taking this challenge on, and we're very, very grateful for that. So here are some of the names. We want to give a shout out to our generous donors. Elise, thank you very much, Elise. Thank you, Hope, Sherry, Carolyn, George, Doug, Scott, John, Thomas, Ann, Donna, Patty. Thank you, Patty. And Suzanne and Terry also gave, and a donation was made in memory of Sarah Deppies, and we're very, very grateful for that. What a legacy to share and to honor those whom we love. You know, Emily is with us, as she always is, behind the scenes, helping us with all of the technology, along with Robert Sababadi of Online Interpreters Worldwide. So thank you all for your hard work behind the scenes. Emily's going to share a link in the comments so that you can just click on that and you can make a donation at any time. We'd ask that you would share that and share it soon, because today all donations, as we said, are going to be multiplied, and that's really just a great investment to make. It's an investment in this generation and in generations to come. So, you know, I always find when I'm talking to people about clean water, Doug, that once we hear that call that people are in need of clean water and that there's a way that we can respond and be a part, it's a blessing to answer that call and to come alongside partners all over the world. So we're very, very grateful.
Yeah, definitely. And like we talked about, there's a real impact that can be made a bunch of different ways. Giving today is one of those great ways that can be doubled. But we have volunteers that travel and help install and train. And so there's real tangible things that we can do to help people that need clean water.
You know, one of our supporters posted on our page, this is Rick out of Denver, who happens to partner in Guatemala. He shared that the giver is as blessed as the one receiving that act of love. Rick always has a great way of putting things. So we're reminded that alone, we might not feel that there's much that we can do. What difference can we possibly make? Because there are over 700 million people who are in need of clean water. So when we think about it in that way, it might feel very, very limiting. But we're not meant to work alone. God has given us each other. And together, with God's help, we're moving mountains, one community at a time. And today is just another one of those days.
Definitely is.
Yeah. So we have some special guests that we'll be hearing from during this segment, just like this morning as we celebrate World Water Day together. We'll be hearing some stories of how all of us are making a difference, coming together as a community today, every day. So we have had our update and our shout out to our donors. So why don't we just go ahead and bring our first guest on, Doug?
For sure. Our first guest, we actually have two guests here. I think we're going to hear from one of them, but we do have two guests. We have Rubenia Sanchez here with her daughter. Rubenia is one of our in-country staff in Guatemala. If you've been following us for any of these Giving Tuesdays or World Water Days, Rubenia is always here with us. So it's a pleasure to have you again here, Rubenia. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Hi, Kendall. Hi, Joe. Thank you so much for inviting me. And well, I have a little one here too that is watching and excited for the first World Water Day.
Yeah,
awesome.
this is her first. We're grateful to have Hannah with us as well. She's looking so good, so very healthy, and we're grateful for that.
Thank you.
So we'd love an update.
Exactly. What's going on in
Sure.
Guatemala?
Well, we have been busy during the last months, and we're happy to share with you that we had our partners conferences. I think it's gonna be maybe a month already, and we had more than 100 people that attend. We had regional conferences, so it was 3 in different departments for people to make it easier for them and not to travel. And even though we did it regional, some of them had to travel like 4 hours, 5 hours to get there because some of the communities are so remote. But it was a very good time of sharing and learning, and we always get energy and those when we get together, and we had a good time. A lot of OPs participating, so it was a very nice time. We have also had already 2 installations in the year. This is usually the dry season, and it's when the initiating partners come to the country. So we have had already 2, and we have another 2 in April. Follow-up visits. We had a team from Fox Valley, and they also did some education classes, training with the 2 operating partners. So it was very nice. They were happy, and to see that we're trying to encourage more the education, as you have heard before. Also, that connection between clean water and education, it's sometimes a challenge, but so we're happy and grateful for that, and that's what we're good.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm watching Hannah watch you talk about your work. And I'm imagining, she's been listening to this for many, many months now, going all the way back. And I'm thinking of how proud she must be of you, Robenia, because you're making a real difference. You are so essential for the work that we do in Guatemala. And not only that, you also help us with the training that we do at our training school. And so we're very grateful that you share your time and your talent with so many of us all over the world.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure, my honor.
Back in December, I was at a conference in Cuba, and there's a lot of energy, isn't there, of when you get everybody together. And this was the first time we'd been together since before the pandemic. And so it was a very special time. We left a lot of space and time for people to share their experiences, because there was some heaviness during that time. It was difficult to travel, of course, difficult to perhaps even communicate. And we might have thought, oh, we're done. What can we do? And yet, many, many new partnerships came about during that time. And so we were sharing those stories at the conference. I'm wondering what you heard at the conference, that maybe a story that really stood out for you, or something that really gives you hope.
Well, just by seeing everybody and looking at them and how the water projects have changed their lives, that's very, very nice. But, I have been thinking, now that I'm a mom, about a woman, Michelle, and we have made friends in the churches that we work in, the projects that we work. And I met her when we did the installation in 2016. It was actually the year that I worked, but it has been 8 years, and she also had her baby. Her name is Sarai. So I was thinking, how new babies are having access to clean water, and how Michelle worked since the beginning in the project. She is still part of it. She started as an educator, did a great job, and they help us a lot, because they started showing videos when they were educating to the people. And that's when we got that idea for also education, and see, oh yeah, the videos are very good, and they work. People like to see videos. So she is a very special woman, and I have met her. I met her because of the water project, and now I was thinking about Sarai and how she has access to clean water, and now all of the work that her mom has done, it's also in good for her. And she's a big baby, a healthy baby, a beautiful baby. So that is very special to see. And many people, I think we're gonna show videos, but the communities, how many people have been impacted in their lives because of clean water. So there are many stories and many people that have been touched by the water projects.
It keeps going. It keeps going, doesn't it, Doug?
It does. It does. And yeah, kind of in the same boat there as Romania, is first time dad now. Romania and I had some fun sending pictures back every once in a while and seeing our two girls. And yeah, it does change things completely, bathing the baby in clean water. Living here in Mexico, we don't have clean water from the tap. So that's something we have to do. And so that's a reality that I'm living now, what we was always taught, and it makes a difference. And it's those things that you want to do. And I couldn't imagine not having access to the clean water. I mean, and how helpless that would feel that you just can't do it. I mean, if you don't have clean water, you don't have clean water, and there's nothing you can do about that. And I think that'd be pretty helpless as a parent. So having that access is a pretty big change. That's great.
And we're gonna hear from two of the videos we have from our people from Guatemala. They said in our community, this is the first water project we have in our community or in our town. So it's just very, very special.
So I'm thinking about you all with your little ones, and now we're on to that next generation of Living Waters for the World family. The family is growing, of course, which is a great thing, and all of the the cousins, the primos and the abuelos, the tias that Hannah and Amalia have, and Sarai, all of that. And that's really what we're called to do, not to be separated and siloed from one another, but because that's not a truth. The truth is we are connected to one another. And I was reminded yesterday by someone, I was talking about what we're going to be doing today, and he said, we are one body. And so when one part of the body is hurting, really the whole body is hurting. Hola, Amalia. Someone just had a bath.
Yep, someone just ate, so that's necessary.
Oh, this is the best World Water Day ever. Hi.
First time ever. That's good.
Oh, that's great. You all are making my day in every way now. Yeah. And so really that's what it's all about. Clean water for the babies, clean water for the grandparents and everybody in between, so that people can have a long life. They can grow up, they can play, they can do their job that God's called them to, whatever that is, being a teacher, being a mom, being a dad, being a great uncle, whatever that calling is. Many times it's multiple callings. During the pandemic, Robenia, you sent us a video, and it was a video that really spoke to many of us. And what you addressed a lot of things in the video, but one thing that you talked about had to do, you reminded us of the important thing to be thinking about our legacy. Do you remember that? And how you put it? Yeah.
I do. Well, during the pandemic, my mom passed away. She had ovarian cancer. So in 2020, she passed away. And I just realized, and since then, a big lesson came to my life, how life is short. And in one blink of eyes, you think all of the years went by, and you think, oh, I needed more time with this person. And I realized how we have just a short time, and we are just here. I'm not sure exactly the word in English, but just de paso. Doc can help me probably, but we're just here temporary. Probably will be a good word. And so what are we doing with our lives? And that's something that it really, really stick in my mind, in my heart, to think, because I saw how her life was, and also how the people was, thanking her, visiting her during that period that we had with her. Even the women, she was a cook, even the women from the market. So she used to go to the market every day. And then one day she stopped going, and my youngest brother was the one buying things in the market. So they were, why your mom is not here? So he told them, and they visited at a home, the women who they sells the vegetables, the chicken, everything. So it was very nice to see how she formed a big group of friends and family and people from church also, because she worked at church a lot with women. So it was very nice to see all of that, and it was a big example for her children, and that was something I was thinking about. So how we want to be reminded, when we're gone. Oh, she was a great person, she was doing this, she was working for water, she what do we want people to say about us? Or like, oh, we don't know, we don't know that person, or maybe she was quiet, or she was not involved in anything. So I think it's very important that every day we need to be thinking about, doing good and helping others, and that's why I feel so blessed in the ministry, because it's my job and it's part of it. So it's something that I have been thinking and doing and sharing with people. So it's part of something that I have to do. So that's why I love it.
That's
Yeah,
an important
that's
legacy.
yeah, exactly, and that's something I've thought about a lot too. And what Rubenio was saying with the boss is like passing through. We're just passing through this life, and so it's not long. And there's an author most people probably know, Donald Miller. He wrote a book called A Million Miles in 1,000 Years. And his kind of thing was talking about creating a life that would be a good story. And he starts out the book, and I always remember this, is the idea of someone, if you went to the movie and the whole movie was this person working, and the last scene is a person jumping in their new Volvo they just purchased and driving off the lot. And that's it. That's not a story. That's not a movie you want to see. And that's what people sometimes, we kind of get worked up in that kind of stuff. And that's kind of what we're living. That's our story, But if you can kind of change your perspective and think, okay, what is my story? What is the legacy that I'm leaving? What am I doing to make this a good story,
Yeah.
And here's this opportunity that we have. And like Rubenio says, myself, you can, we have the blessing that this is our job too. I mean, that's amazing. But there's other ways to get involved that's not your job. One of those being today, the obvious one, but just any way of volunteering or helping out and leaving that legacy and helping other people have clean water. And like we've talked about, that clean water it's not just about clean water. It's not just about the fact that you have this water you can drink now. It's the effects that they have. A child can be a child. You don't have to be sick. You can be strong. You can do what you want to do. And that's all because of clean water. So it's much bit larger effects than just some clean water.
And these relationships that get developed that we've named here, relationships with Michelle, relationships with each other, and the legacy of your mother, Rubenio, who lives on through you and through Hannah. And her memory is a blessing to so many. And I think that's really what we all want to be when we look back. We don't know how many days we get, but we'll get the days that we get. And hopefully we'll have we'll take that opportunity to reflect. And perhaps it is something we should reflect daily at the end of our day. What did we do to show kindness and to show love? And how did I take a blessing that I received and pass it on? So today's a great day to talk about blessings and legacies. And that's the work that we're doing on. And we are very blessed. We are very blessed to get to do it. So this is happening, all over the world. Living Waters for the World has networks, and many of them are having conferences, bringing partners together. I know Southeast Mexico, our network there had a conference not so long ago, and they have some very faithful partners there that go all the way back to maybe 2006 or 2007. So we're just sharing some of those stories today. Hey, Doug, why don't we share a video?
Yep, I'm actually have Rubenio lead us into this one. This is a video that comes from Guatemala. Tell us a bit about it before we check it out.
Okay, yes, you're gonna listen from Victor Cifuentes. He is a teacher in a school. It's a like kindergarten and elementary school. They have 650 students. We're gonna hear from different projects, but this is a brand new. They have 1 year. It was installed last year, and they have been working well. All of the children are happy. This is one of, he mentioned in the video, you know, in our town, this is the first water system that it's in our town. So we have been blessing the children and also families because they have the water available for the parents. And also they had an idea that I like it. There's other schools in town, and they also have the water available for the school that they want to go and get the water here. So they have been doing a good job. We have seen how schools also work well with the projects, and that all of those children, you know, they were just drinking water from the faucet, but not anymore. They have clean water in the rooms, and there is no amount or limit that they can drink. You know, they can use it. So it's a blessing.
Let's take a look at that video.
Hola, buen día. Mi nombre es Víctor Cifuentes.
Recording in
Actualmente laboro en una
progress.
escuela aquí llamada Elisa Muñoz de Están del municipio de San Mateo, del departamento de Quetzaltenango, aquí en Guatemala. Pues estamos muy contentos, muy alegres porque los colaboradores de YouTube han venido a donarnos esta purificadora que ustedes pueden ver aquí al fondo. Creo que ha sido algo muy importante, algo de impacto aquí en nuestro centro escolar, y no solo aquí, sino que también a nivel municipal, porque actualmente ahora ya la mayoría de estudiantes de aquí de esta escuela ya beben agua purificada. Estamos agradeciendo mucho a los colaboradores, ya que por medio de ellos pues, se han beneficiado muchos niños, y también hemos beneficiado a muchas personas, y también como docentes nos hemos beneficiado. Así que esperamos que Dios les siga dando vida y que Dios bendiga a estas personas que de una u otra manera han llevado muchas purificadoras a varios lugares de nuestra bella Guatemala.
A blessing to hear right from a partner, the difference that this gift is making. And they're there running that system every single day, providing for their community.
So, like we've said over and over, today, World Water Day, we have a generous donor has put up $25,000 of matching money. So if you're able to donate today, your donation will be doubled. Emily is putting the link right now in the comment section, both on YouTube and our Facebook page. Give a click there. You can go there and donate whatever you would like.
Thank you. And I know some people, most of us are giving online. She will also put the address for Living Waters for the World in case you don't donate online. You want to send a check, you can do that. Let us know if you have any questions. We can answer your questions there. But the giving it's a secure site, so you can make a donation today. And I'd ask that you share that. I've been sharing the link with some family and friends throughout the day, encouraging everyone to give. A lady from my church made a generous donation, and so I encouraged our whole water team, you know, hey, she's giving money, we can match that, and then it'll be sent and it will match at Living Waters for the World. So however you want to do it, that's great with us.
Sure.
So I'm wondering if we have another video that we might watch.
We do have another video right now. If you guys remember from this morning, we had a video from Honduras of 3 little girls who talked about the water. And if you remember, one of the little girls, her mom was an operator. So now the video we have right now are the 3 operators of that site, one being Angie's mom as well. So we'll take a quick look at some operators from Honduras talking about their new clean water system.
Continuamos aquí en la purificadora de Corralito en el Rosario, Camayagua. En esta ocasión tenemos aquí a las 3 operadoras de este sistema. Vamos a platicar un poquito con ellas. Vamos a empezar con Sandra. Sandra, ¿qué significa para usted y esta purificadora de agua en su comunidad?
Para mí significa de mucho beneficio, principalmente va para nuestros hijos y también para los niños de nuestra comunidad y para nuestro hogar, y agradecerles a todos por este beneficio que nos han dado.
Gracias. ¿Qué espera usted, qué beneficios espera usted que los niños puedan tener en esta comunidad a través del agua purificada?
Pues el beneficio que más esperamos es que ellos consuman esta agua purificada, porque es para la salud de ellos. Y hay muchos beneficios, ¿verdad? Pero lo que más nos agrada es que tenemos esta agua purificada para que ellos estén bien de salud.
Excelente, gracias, Sandra. Vamos a pasar aquí a Iris. Iris, ¿cómo se siente usted ser parte de este ministerio?
Pues me siento muy feliz, contenta al saber que nos tomaron en cuenta para este proyecto de esta purificadora de aquí en nuestra comunidad.
A nivel personal, ¿qué siente usted? Y me refiero a saber que está purificando agua, sus niños van a beber agua purificada. ¿Cómo se siente usted por eso?
Me siento contenta porque es un beneficio que beneficia a la familia, por ejemplo, yo para mi hija, para que ella tome agua purificada y esté con buena salud.
Y tenemos aquí también a Zaira. Zaira, ¿qué puede agregar usted a lo que ha dicho Iris y Sandra?
Pues me siento contenta y feliz porque es primera vez que tenemos una purificadora en nuestra comunidad y vender esa agua para todos los que habitan aquí, para que ellos estén sanos y puedan tener agua limpia.
Excelente. Excelente. Gracias entonces a las 3 nuevas operadoras, las operadoras más nuevas de Agua Viva para el Mundo en Honduras. Están todavía un poquito nerviosas, pero están alegres de tener ese proyecto. Así que muchas gracias.
Gracias. Gracias a ustedes, a la organización y cada uno de los que están en este puesto, es porque el Padre Celestial los ha puesto en nuestra vida y en nuestro camino, aquí en nuestra comunidad. Mil gracias a todos ellos. No hay palabras para decirle todas las gracias que le damos.
Gracias.
A video of gratitude and ending on that note, and thinking about all of the children. So we're very, very grateful. So I think we have some other partners. Rubenia, if you wouldn't mind hanging out with us for the rest of our time together, we're going to bring some partners on who are in the Memphis area, a little closer to me here in Mississippi. And this is Steve Valentine and Chalmers Valentine, and they partner in Ghana. They have been faithful partners for many, many years there now. And Steve serves as our Ghana coordinator, and Chalmers serves on our board. So in addition to being water partners, they serve in other capacities as well. Welcome to you all, Steve and Chalmers. So glad you're with us.
Thanks, Kendall.
Thanks, Kendall. You wouldn't believe that we're only 15 feet apart, but we've been trying to solve the technology problems of the world with that 15 feet.
I understand it. You get a lot of feedback 15 feet from one another. We're about 120 miles from each other here where we live. So, you know, I had the opportunity to travel with you all back in 2017, a very gracious invitation to go with you to Ghana, and how eye-opening that was. I'm used to going to Cuba or maybe working in some other places, but wow, what a reception we had in Ghana. And I'd love for you all to share just an update of what's going on, because I know you all just got back.
We did. Hey, Chalmers, why don't you start us off?
Okay. We did just get back. We're, if you will, getting our sea legs back from the whole COVID situation, because we could not go, as with a lot of systems and teams over COVID, over to Ghana. So we went back one time last year to review their progress. I think the wonderful thing about what we're doing at Living Waters is the idea that we're taking this whole idea and not only partnering, but sharing so that these people can, they can become the partner that does the install and the education. And we are now sort of the parents of the project. And we were, even though we were prepared, and Kendall, with your trip, we had set that up, and then we did another install after that. After that, then we weren't able to go over there. So the Ghana team themselves really had to do it all on their own. And they did a beautiful job of putting in several systems. And now I think they've put in probably maybe 4 or 5 systems on their own. And so this recent trip was to go and not only check other systems, but to follow up on some of the original systems you were discussing from 2006, and how all those things have changed and progressed. So I'll let Steve talk after that.
Yeah, thanks, Chalmers. So just to build a little bit onto what Chalmers was saying, we had a vision, Kendall, as you know, starting almost really 10 years ago, about going down the path of Ghanaians helping Ghanaians. There were several reasons for that. One was very simply that our Ghanaian partners over there, the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, they're very equipped. They've got a lot of resources. And what they didn't have was they didn't have the full support of Living Waters in terms of the Clean Water U training and some other things. And so we started that journey in like 2012, 2013, sort of culminating in 2017, Kendall, when you and some of your colleagues were there for about a week. And then as Chalmers said, we did a little test run in 2019 where Chalmers and I were the initiating partner through Ottawa Church, but the Ghanaians did all the prep. They got everything ready. They did all the core docs. They did all those things. And we just kind of were flying a little higher, kind of in the shepherding stage. And so we went over there and partnered with them in that install. And it went great. And then COVID hit and we couldn't travel for 3 years. However, as Chalmers was saying, over the 3 years, the Ghanaians, the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, installed 5 sites by themselves. We still were involved remotely. We did a lot of Zooms, all the core document information, so on and so forth. But probably the biggest validation through those 5 or 6 systems during COVID was this, and Kendall, I know you know this. They did a first of a kind install at the Cape Coast School for the Deaf and Blind. First of a kind. Everything was done in sign, right? All the training was done in sign. Operator, education, celebration. They brought in people that could be the translators, if you will. And they did that, and it's been wildly successful. That's one of the sites Chalmers and I saw last year and couldn't have been more happier in terms of how that school was doing. And then the very next year, they did another one. They did a school for the deaf and the blind in Mampong, which, Kendall, you drove by probably 10 times and never knew it. It was right there close to Acropong, and same type of deal. It was all done in sign. So that's pretty neat. And so now where we are is we had a good trip last month and spent a week there. And we lined out with our partners there potential sites, and now they're going to start over the next few months qualify a pipeline of sites that can be installed with the system and education. The only other thing is, on this last trip, they had just installed a couple of months before a first of a kind for us in Ghana, which was an all-girls school, about 650 girls, and then another high school that's about 1,700 kids, co-ed. So they're making great progress.
That is amazing. We're used to working with partners who they might speak Spanish. We got to go from English to Spanish, or maybe they speak Quechua or a Mayan language. But to think of going from English to sign language, or from another language to sign language. And you might think, oh, how are we going to do that? Well, we'll just show you how it's done. We're just going to do it. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to say we're going to do it, and then we're going to do it again, which is what our partners in Ghana have done. So they're showing us what's possible by believing that it's possible, and really just putting their minds and hearts and souls to it. Yeah. So I love that story about the installations at the schools. And there's another partnership in Ghana that is very near and dear to my heart. And since we've already had some babies on the scene today with us earlier, could you tell us a little bit about the partnership that is at a maternity clinic?
Sure, I'll start. That's my favorite too. I hate to, like, we have,
we don't have favorites.
We don't have to, whatever, but I'm just going to tell you, it's our favorite spot, and I'll give you my couple minutes on it, then Chalmers can tell hers. But that's the one we did in 2019. Chalmers and I went. It is in the middle of nowhere, literally, like many of Living Water sites, and it's primarily a maternity clinic. And when we first qualified it a couple of years before we did the install, we were talking to them and gathering the information and so forth. And two things came out. One was, I asked the question, how many babies are birthed here or supported here in a month? And the number came back 90. And I said, no, not a year, a month. And then we did have a translator because there was a little bit of an accent. And Michael, our ICT, said, Steve, it's a month. It's 90 a month. And so then we kept on talking, and we were outside the building, on the side of the building, next to where the dense jungle really begins in Ghana. And the administrator was talking, and he said, here's the way it works. We maybe out of those babies get half of them birthed in the clinic, and then the rest come after the baby is born with a midwife or whatever. And he says, that light over that door on this side of the jungle is on 24/7, 52 weeks out of a year, so that no matter what, as the mom and the baby and whomever's helping them get here, they know where to go because they can see the light. And just a quick update, we were there last month. There's a new administrator there. They've really gotten into the data. And so here's the update. The update is they are birthing about 90 babies in the clinic now, right? So that number's doubled. And then there's another 80 that are coming every month for the postnatal from the birth that had a midwife or at home or whatever it is. They come immediately after the birth. So now their number is like 170, 180 a month. And all of these moms and kids, not only do they get checked out and everything, but they're getting the Living Waters safe water. And they're also, Kendall, I think you know this, but they're also getting the bottle talkers and the other things that say, here's the 4 things you need to use the water for. So, Chalmers, I don't know what you want to add on to that, but.
Well, I have a couple of things to add on.
Good, please.
First, if that's okay. The first thing is, yes, it is a favorite site. I wanted to say a couple of things. In another site that we talked about, one of the original sites in 2006, this is where the continuing education comes into play. It's all about the people. The first site that was ever installed in Ghana in 2006 still has the same water technician. So we're going on almost 20 years. We're almost at 19 years. And that water system is still very successful, but a lot of it's because the same person is the one being the water technician. Okay. They know what to tell people. When we came originally to the clinic, we also share, as you all do in the other communities, with the schools and whoever's around. And one of the situations that we had was that the school said, oh, but what can we do about the cups? The cups for the students, each classroom of 60 kids has 1 cup. We said, well, let us help with that. I mean, obviously, let us help with that. That's a whole other germ situation. And well, hello, here we are 5 years down the road. Guess what? Those kids have moved on. The students have moved on. All of a sudden, the man who's running the clinic said, the schools, can we ask you for some cups? We said, oh my goodness, please speak up. Don't wait 5 years. We can help you with the cups. So then all the students, we were able to see them with their cups. The second story I have, which I think is really, it just brought everything home, was one of the ladies that worked at the clinic, who literally cleaned the kitchen and the bathrooms. That was her job. And she had had a very physical job. And you could just tell she had had a very laborious job throughout her life. But this was her also, she felt very called to do this. This was her service, but it was time for her to retire. And so she retired several years ago, but really still wanted to give back to the water system. And she came back and became the water technician. And I have not seen this lady in 5 years, mind you. And she's 5 years older. We both were. And let me tell you, she looked 10 years younger because she is drinking the water. Not only is she thrilled about this new job she has, but she is, you can see the physical appearance, the physical change that this person who really should look 10 or 15 years older than she had. It was amazing. I recognized her right away. And just to see the physical change was so heartwarming.
Oh, I love those stories. Thank you for sharing them. I'm picturing that light being on and people journeying towards it, leaving the light on 24/7. So people know they can come to this place. They will be cared for. They will not be turned away, and there'll be clean water waiting for them and their baby. This is a very vulnerable time in a woman's life and in a baby's life. There's no more vulnerable time than that. So we have to have extra protections in place. Oh, thank you for sharing these stories. And I'm especially thankful to hear of the woman who retired and she wasn't done. God wasn't done with her yet. She just kept on working because her legacy was going to include something else. I think of my own mom who lives here with me. She's going to be 83 next month. I'm so glad she's here, and that I hope we can add days to her life because she's such a blessing to us and so many. So that's what we want for all of the grandmothers, all the people who are of retirement age, all the way down to the newborns. Those are beautiful stories.
Hey, Kendall, if you don't mind, I'd like to share one more, which you know about.
Yeah, we have time. We have so much time.
Yeah, when we leave Ghana, we do a wrap-up meeting. We usually end up back in the big city of Accra, and we'll be in one of the Presbyterian Church offices and get everybody together for half, 2/3 of a day before we say our goodbyes. And so on this trip, as you know, both of our in-country educators, two ladies, Rose Hinawa and Rosa Faye and Regina Hinawa, are professors at the College of Education, right, in Ghana. So they're college level professors. Rose just retired, and she's still working. She went to another school and she's teaching. It's a different story. Regina was with us all week, and on about day 3, after we had visited all these sites, and Chalmers, help me out here. Regina teaches biology. Is that right?
Yes.
At the university? Okay. She teaches biology. On like day 3, Regina said to Chalmers and I, hey, I'm going to write a research paper across all the sites in Ghana about the impact of the safe water being offered, consumed, and so on and so forth. She says, I'm just hearing and seeing that, anecdotally and subjectively, the benefits across these schools. And she goes, I want to write a research paper and, all this kind of stuff. Would that be okay? And we're like, yeah, stop the bus, right? Let's everybody get off and talk about it. It's a great idea. So we, in our wrap-up meeting, we talked a little bit about that with Regina and the group, and she is going down the path to, construct a research paper on the benefits of the use of the water in these sites. So that's pretty cool. That's going to be pretty cool, and we'll obviously bring that to the larger Living Waters community, right?
Oh,
And
yeah. Thank
and
you.
maybe that's something we can, as an organization, get somehow embedded into what everybody does.
That is
Sure, for
so
sure.
important. Stories speak to our hearts. That's important. Data speaks to our minds. That is also important. And when you put those two things together, that is going to be very, very powerful. Just a reminder of the difference we can make. Everybody can be a hero. And our donors today are heroes. Our partners are heroes. And we're so very, very grateful for you all sharing these stories with us. I'm going to ask if you all would please hang with us if you can until the end of our segment. We have a few other video. We have another video we'd like to share. And then
Sure.
I've got another question for you before we wrap up. If that's okay, can you all hang?
Yeah,
sure.
Okay, great. Doug, go ahead and tell us about our next video, or have
Yeah,
Rabani
we got-
tell us.
Yeah, exactly. We got two more videos we're gonna show here shortly. We'll go with the first one, and real quick, I want to say what Steve was talking about there with that research paper. Stuff like that shouldn't blow me away, but it does continue to blow me away. That as the organization becomes more and more mature, and we've been able to train people, like the level of things that people that have been trained through Living Waters are able to do. And that's due to the support of Living Waters to help them grow and have the support to do what they want to do. Kennedy talked about Habibi earlier, and this person, and we talked about this backstage, but some of these videos that are getting put together now by our partners are really amazing. And I kind of think this next video we're going to watch here, I think it might be our next public service announcement. It's really well done. And yeah, Rubenia, where did this one come from? Tell us a little about that quickly.
It comes from a village called Hoja Blanca in Huehuetenango. And these girls, they're just doing a great job in education, and you will see also in editing videos. But it's just amazing how they're grateful and happy about having a system. Again, this is a community very remote. They grow coffee, and that's why people live there. It's so remote. You need a 4-wheel drive car to get there, and they have seen just the change. She mentioned that in the video also, and we heard stories also about children being sick all the time and not sure what happened until the doctor says, okay, give them clean water, and then they change. So it's amazing to see, and I was enjoying to listen also the stories from Ghana and see and thinking about how water is all around the world, and how it can unify us, and how we are here to be stewards of God's creation. And it's just very, very special. So we'll see this video. I hope you enjoy it.
El agua es esencial para nuestra vida y desempeña un papel vital para nuestra salud y bienestar. El agua purificada ofrece múltiples beneficios para nuestra salud y ayuda a mantenernos hidratados, evitando enfermedades y siendo apoyo para nuestro sistema digestivo. La purificadora de agua ha sido de gran beneficio para los habitantes de Hoja Blanca y sus alrededores. Se ha visto disminución de enfermedades intestinales en la población, pero especialmente en los niños. El agua purificada no solo evita enfermedades intestinales, sino también ayuda a los deportistas a mantenerse hidratados. El agua es un recurso muy importante para la vida y el agua limpia significa salud.
Bebamos el agua y bebamos de ella.
I love that. They did a great job.
Right?
Yeah, that was amazing. Oh, very, very powerful. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions for the Valentines and for Robania. And we asked this question earlier, and so I'm going to ask you all this as well. This is your one word before you go. And if you need a phrase, you can have a phrase, but I'd love to hear from you a summary word of how you feel, how it makes you feel to be a part of the Living Waters for the World community. So, Robania, I'll start with you.
Okay. I thought, oh no, I needed more time. But that's it's too much to share. And to me, it has been you have no idea such a blessing. I have grown as a woman and learn about water, people. I mean, it's just a lot of things. And now being a mom and being able to work from home and do some traveling sometimes, it has been a very unique experience and a blessing. So I always said water is important to God because if you see the world, it's 70% water. If you see our bodies, it's also 60 to 70% water. So water is important, and what better to work in water projects. So that's what I can say. It's not a phrase. I'm sorry, it's too much.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay, Steve Chalmers, how about you all?
Go Chalmers.
Nope. Okay. I would say faithful.
Faithful.
It's just faithful. Our partners are faithful to the program as well. And it is because of that we're able to grow and work and continue the soul mission.
Absolutely. Steve?
Yeah, I think the one word I have is spiritual. And I think it's because of the feeling you get as Rubinho was talking about. It's a feeling that I get personally, but our partners in Ghana, like probably in all the communities, Presbyterian Church, obviously very spiritual. They talk and pray and preach about water all the time because it's such a important aspect of their communities. And they also know it's a precious resource. And so the whole thing for me is very spiritual.
Thank you for that. We don't ever want to lose sight of that aspect of it. Sometimes I think we get very focused on the PVC and we forget about the people or the relationships that we have and how precious those are to us. And that's a gift from God. This calling that we have said yes to, and we continue to say yes very, very faithfully. So thank you for sharing your words. Doug, I think we've got one more video that you were going to share with us.
I know, Kendall, how you love those sayings. You have the people before PVC.
Yes.
I think we got a new one here. Get ready for this one. This video has a new one. So this is a video, another community from Guatemala talking about kind of the effects that clean water has had on their community. Rubenia, where is this one from again?
This is for a village called Aldea El Chico, very remote also. You have to go in a boat to get to the community. They don't have electricity, so it's the only system we have with solar panels. And very interesting. And this is another woman I love, Antonieta. She only went until 5th grade, but she became an educator, and she went to the whole community to teach. And even recently, she went home by home, checking on the people and asking questions about education. So we were working on something. So she has done an amazing job, and I think she's one of our best educators. And also how her life has been changed when you listen to her story also by Living Waters. She was one of the ones that says, oh, you opened my eyes. So it's just amazing. And you like the phrase that she shared at the end.
Hasta el principio de 2018 éramos una comunidad aproximadamente de 700 familias que no tomábamos ni teníamos agua purificada. En el puesto de salud se reportaba entre 40 y 45 casos de diarrea mensual, muchos dolores de estómago entre adultos y niños. Pero a fines de 2018, en el mes de octubre, llegó hasta nosotros el Ministerio de Aguas Vivas para el Mundo, por lo que damos gracias a Dios. Y ahora el 80% de las familias consume agua purificada. Los casos de diarrea han disminuido a entre 2 y 4 casos al mes. Y nosotros como proyecto seguimos trabajando de lunes a sábado, llevándole agua purificada a la comunidad hasta la puerta de su casa. Y seguimos educando a las personas, señalándoles la importancia del agua purificada en la salud. Y nuestro lema es: más que negocio, salud; más que dinero, servicio.
I'll take that. Service over money. Yep, that's important. And that's how we should be living. Money is a blessing that we're to utilize in a particular way. And we get a lot of guidance on that. It's not to be hoarded, it's to be shared so that others can be blessed. So I'm very, very grateful for that reminder there. So I tell you what, let's take a look now. We're coming kind of to the end of this segment. We will be back on at 8 Central. I want to thank our guests, Robenia and Steve and Chalmers, for being with us today and sharing your stories, and for your faithfulness in sharing this blessing, that is a spiritual blessing for us and a physical blessing as well. Let's take a look at where we are right now. I am hearing from Emily that we've had some more donors. Shout out to Jeff and Henry and Debbie. We are now at $14,290. So we're getting closer to that $25,000 goal. So if you can give today, please give, no matter if it's $5, if it's $500, if it's something in between those two, it's all going to get multiplied today. So thank you for helping us reach our goal of 25,000 so that we can have that matching amount as well. So, as we were talking today, I was reminded of a sign that I keep here right by my laptop so that I can see it and be reminded of it. And these words are often attributed to Henri Frederick Amiel. And maybe you've heard this said as a benediction before. I know that I have used it at church. And here's what it is. It's a good note for us to end on. Beloved, life is short, and we have never too much time for gladdening the hearts of those who make the journey with us. So let us be swift to love. Let us make haste to be kind. I want to thank everyone for the gift of your presence. Let's face this mountain together as partners. We're grateful for the gifts of us together, and we look forward to seeing you back here at 8 p.m. Central Time for more stories and an update on how we're doing. Thanks, you all.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank y'all.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Good to be with you.
Recording stopped.